Welcome back to the virtual classroom for Comp 3077 online at the Lawrence Kinlan School of Business. This is our final video for the semester. We are going into week 14, and you have your test, your second test in week 14. That would be test 2, often referred to as the final test. This will run in a very similar way at the beginning to the first test. We're going to have a case. It's a cumulative case, what they call a capstone case, and it's worth 20%, but there will be a part 2 of this test. And that's one of the most important reasons to be watching this video, because you're not going to know how it works. Your professors will demonstrate it in lecture if you're in a face-to-face section, but most of you watching these videos are in online sections, and you need to watch this so you go into the test knowing how part 2 operates, so that if you do make it to part 2, and most of you will, some of you may not, but most of you will make it to part 2, you know how to work it. So I'm going to show you that. That's going to be the main guts of the video, is showing you how part 2 works, but I am going to go over what's in the case portion of the test as well. So number one thing with the test, especially with the case portion, which is worth 20%. So you have a case portion worth 20%. You have the MOS simulation worth 5%. The case worth the same as the first test. It's just like you've been doing every week. You download the instructions, you download the start file, you change the name. You will have a couple support files for this one. Make sure you download those and you don't mess with those names, and you know when to use them. Just follow the instructions. But that will be the first part of the test, and that's worth 20%. Okay, and there'll be no reports for that either. The 20% portion, it doesn't have as many steps as the first test. It's actually, to me, almost slightly easier as long as you understand the concepts. The first test involved a lot of busy work and a lot of steps and a lot of areas where you haven't had an opportunity to get typos and stuff like that. Second test, not so many. And that'll be 20% of your final mark. Some students may take the entire 1 hour and 50 minutes to do the case, and that's fine. If that's what you choose to do, that's what you do. And if you get an A on it, then it might not be that big of a deal that you didn't make it to part 2, which is another 5%. And that's what I'm going to show you how to use in this video. As far as the actual test goes, I'm not going to open it up or show you much of it. It's just like a standard case, and I'll give you kind of an intro as to where it goes and stuff like that. So there is an enforced time limit. It's 1 hour and 50 minutes. And there's a whole list of stuff that's also in FOL that you need to go back and maybe take a look at to make sure you understand these concepts. If error, I think, was actually in 3 cases. I think it was also in week 10. So these are all the things that are going to come up on the test that are above and beyond just the standard stuff you learned in the first few weeks. The newer things that we've learned since week 6 when we took the first test. And these are the things that carry the most weight. There are, of course, other steps that still carry weight as well, but this is a nice, concise list. And no, you don't need to pause the video and take a screenshot of this, because this exact list is actually right here in Fanshawe Online in your week 14 content. We start talking about the course learning outcomes, module learning outcomes, and kind of everything is covered with the final test. And then we talk about how it may include material from weeks 1 through 12. It's a 2-part test. It's a capstone case, and here are the items that are on the case that are, again, above and beyond the basics. So you're still going to be doing a lot of the basic stuff, just general number and cell formatting, inputting some data, moving some sheets around, doing things like that. But these are the things that would carry more weight. And down here, it just breaks down how the test works. So I would like you to pause. If you have not already read this, I want you to pause the video right now, and I want you to go to your FOL content, or you can just read it from the video. I want you to read this section so you understand how the test works. Okay, great. Thank you for that. Hopefully most of you did that. It's 1 hour and 50 minutes long. It's the full portion of your lab. If you're in a face-to-face section, you will still be required to show up for the hour lecture before to get set up for the test. If you're in an online section, it'll be similar to the way the first one was done, where they'll give you different blocks during a week, usually definitely an evening and a morning block. And if you can't take it in one of those, usually you have to take it beforehand. But everything's open resource, open book. You can use anything you want. but you need to understand how to work part 2. So as far as the case goes, it's a standard case. It does have a couple support files, but you would go in here and you'd click on the case just like you would with any other SAM case, and it'll get to this screen. And then from this screen, you'll hit the start button, and there will likely be a password if your professor set it up that way. And from there, it'll show you the files, and there are 2 support files. So you can download all, or you can just download one, but I'm not going to go through that in the test prep video. You guys at this point in week 14 know how to use SAM. So you'll complete the case first. The MOS simulation won't even be available until a half hour after the case has begun, because we don't want anybody starting with that portion. You start with the case, it's worth way more of your mark, and the majority of you will make it to the MOS simulation. So the MOS simulation is not like the quizzes, and that's what I'm going to go to now. So that's basically just introducing you to the fact you're going to have a case. I would go back to this list, and if you're a little bit rusty on anything in this list here, I would go back and check those out. It tells you which week they're all from, which makes it even easier for you to kind of locate and find some of this information. You can watch the portions of the video, you can retake quizzes, stuff like that. But you should be ready to do these things on the capstone case, which is 20% of your mark for test 2. Now, test 2 as a total contribution to your mark is worth 25%, because you also have this second part. Okay, so let's go into this second part. Now, I think most of you will make it to this part here, this test 2 version A. Some of you might get the other version if you have to take it at an alternative time or after some of your classmates have taken it, but most of you will be in version A. They're all, you can't share files, you can't cheat, you can't download it from some other school and try and put it in there. It's just not going to work. So you have to do your own work. And that's how the system works. It catches everybody if you try not to, and it won't let you submit it. So you're going to need to do it that way. And this is designed to take an average student who has been completing the cases prior to this, which led into the capstone case, approximately 48 minutes. So that timing that they give us, 48 minutes for this case, means an hour and 50 minutes to complete both of these parts. This one, which only gives you half an hour, should be enough. But a lot of students they really take their time with the case, and that's totally okay. And you might not make it to part 2. And if you don't, no big deal. But most of you will. So for the most of you that will, here's how it works. So part 2, you're going to click on this, and it's going to open up an MOS simulation. So this is very much like you'd experience in the real world if you went to get MOS certified in Excel, and you simply click Start. And now I'm going to show you how this works. So an MOS exam is not like a SAM quiz, okay? It is not like that. It will not tell you when you're doing anything wrong. You just have to get as much done as you can with each project, as they call them. Each of these MOS tests are broken up into several different files. I'll show you how that works. And once you've done as much as you can on each of the files, you submit that file and you go to the next one. So right off the top, I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to Summary. And right now it says Submit Project. So if you hit that right now, it would confirm that you want to do that, but it would submit all of these questions or steps without you having done anything. And you don't want to do that. You want to at least try each of them. So even if you get into this and it's like you're an hour and 41 minutes into test 2 and you only have 9 minutes left, you still want to open it up and get as many steps done as you can, because it's still points as part of that 5% of your mark. Even if you only get a 30% on part 2, it's still something toward your final mark. But a lot of the students do make it to part 2 and they get their full half an hour and they do okay. They do quite well, actually. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different projects or files. And once you leave the one you're on, you cannot go back to it. You can bounce around from question to question within each project, but you can't go back. So the way it works is whenever you want to see where you're at in the project, you can go to Summary, but it's not going to tell you if you've done these or not yet, or if they're right. It's not like a SAM quiz. You just have to try and do some of this stuff. So to see the questions, once you get in there, you click the up screen button right here, and you have 7 questions on this one. The first one says, and these are actually the questions on the MOS test. So I'm going to give you a few answers here just in the process of showing you how this works. Literally. So this first one says, change the width of column C to 14.57. Now, we've taught you in this course that generally speaking, if you want the column to be as big as you need it, just double click it, it's auto fit, it's done. You can drag your mouse and make it whatever size you want. But if you're being graded by a computer, in this case by an MOS simulation, you should probably do it from the format menu. So I'm actually going to do this step. I'm going to highlight column C. You can also sit anywhere in column C. Go home, go cells, go format. Now, if you have a wider monitor, you might see more of this, but the menu's a bit consolidated here, a bit crunched up, and that's fine. And we go to column width, and we type in 14.57. So I got my number lock on there. And we click OK, and it worked. So if it works, you know you did it right. If you didn't do it right, the MOS simulation will actually not tell you you didn't do it right. You'll just have nothing happen. And then students immediately raise their hand in a test, which you can't do, and they say, hey, nothing's working. I don't know what's going on here. I'm doing this right and it's not working. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's jump over to, where is there just a function? Here's a simple function. Step number 4, in cell C21, enter a formula using the sum function that adds values in the range C10 to C20. So I'm going to go down here, and you can do an auto sum, and it might grab the right range. It probably would, actually, if you just hit auto sum. I think I might do it. Yeah, I think I might do it without auto sum. Yeah, it does pick up the right range, but I'm going to accidentally put C10 to C21, and I'm going to hit enter and see what happens. Huh, that was weird. I did the right thing, and then I hit enter and nothing appeared there. Professor, and they're raising their hand, and this is how this actually works. If you have a step and you attempt to do it, and you put something in a cell, or you try and change a width of a column, or you try and move something, and it doesn't work, it's because you didn't do it right. So this is actually beneficial because the system is telling you, without saying incorrect action or anything like that, it's not actually saying that, just by not allowing it to happen, it's telling you automatically that you did it wrong. If I were to, however, and I could have used AutoSum too, and I did C10 just to C20 and not C21, and now I hit enter, it worked because I did it correctly. So that's how every one of these steps will work. If something isn't coming up, it's because you're doing it wrong. And trust me, you are. It's not the computer. It's you doing it. So you need to go through each of these steps and get as many as you can done. Copy and paste the formula from D5 to D6. And it says with formulas and number formatting. Now, you should be able, that should be the default. If you just copy and then Control V paste, it did work. So I didn't even have to right click and choose my copy option there. So I'm already speeding you guys up. I'm already getting you through most of the first module. So that's one question right, 2, 3. Okay, so once you get all of them done, and I'm not going to do them all just for the sake of keeping this video as short as possible, then you submit project. Okay, and you can, if you need more room on the screen, you can keep moving this up and down by clicking that button. You can also, if you felt like you've done something in the file that screwed it up to the point where you need to go back to the beginning, you can restart project. I've gone through this. I don't know where in this examination you'd need to do anything like that, but you know, it's an option that you have there. But once I hit submit project, okay, yeah, it actually doesn't give me the option. It doesn't say, are you sure you want to submit the project? It just does it. So make sure when you go to hit submit project that you've completed everything you felt you could get done out of these 7 steps on that one and out of these 6 steps on this one. Just do them in order and get as much done as you can. And do not hit submit project until you finish all of these. Now, I am going to show all my students this in my face-to-face lectures too, and the other professors will do the same before the test, but I think it's good that you have this in video format to watch a few times beforehand, just so you know how this system works. So now I'm on to this one, and I can go through the 5 or 6 questions, 6 or 7, however many there are. Okay, find and replace, that's easy. If you don't do it right, it won't work. It's probably because of a typo. Fill the range based on the text, that's autofill. I mean, this is like, the first 3 of them are very easy. You can get through most. So get as many of these done as you can, then hit submit project. Get as many of those done as you can, then hit submit project. If it runs out of time, it will just end you and it will count everything you've done. Even if you don't hit submit project, it will still count the steps you've done on that project prior to you hitting submit if it just ended on you. If your professor is telling you the time is up and it needs to end on you, you can simply just hit the X in the right corner and it will end. So that's how it works. You can also hit exit project. There's a variety of things you can do to get out, but you won't want to get out unless you know you've done everything you can. And the only way you would get out is if you exit project. Well, exit project is the same as submit. I think if you exit project, you've not completed all the tasks in this exam. Yeah, that's exiting the whole thing. So that's also the same as hitting the red X in the right corner. So we're just going to leave it. We're going to click OK, and then it tells you what you got right. Number of questions skipped. It tells you, so you should get a mark at the end because we'll have it set up for you to get a mark, even though you won't on the case portion of the exam. And then you're done. You just close it up. So you can exit from there or the red X, but to go from file to file or project to project, you just hit this button. But you do not exit project or hit the red X up here unless you feel that you've completed everything you can and or your time is up with your professor. The only other thing that would happen outside of that is the time would just run out naturally, in which case it will just end you. And it will end your exam. This exam is not going to end any of you, okay? It's only worth 5% of your mark. If you make it to it, great. It's just extra gravy, okay? Most of you have done quite well in the course if you've kept up with the weekly assignments. But this test collectively with the case and the MOS simulation, again, is worth 25% of your mark. So we're just going to jump back to this screen and wrap up. And I just want all of you going into this test, whether you're online or face-to-face, knowing how to use this MOS simulation. Because you don't want to be wasting time when you start the test and then you finish your case and you only have like 15 minutes left. You could finish a lot of steps in the MOS simulation in 15 minutes, as long as you know how it works. And so there you go. So if you need to see again all the basics of it, just go back and rewatch the video. And that's it for our final video. This was a quick one. It's just a test prep video getting you ready for the 25% final test. This will take place in week 14. You do not have anything during exam week. Those of you in face-to-face classes do not have an alternatively scheduled exam outside of your regular class schedule. You take this test in your regularly scheduled class, and then you're done with the course. There, of course, is no new SAM case or quiz during the test week. And that's it for the course. I want to thank you all very much for being part of all these videos and going through all this material with me. I love Excel. I love this class. I love Fanshawe College. That's why I do all these videos for you guys. I want to make sure this course is very turnkey. And for a computer application course, I don't know any other way to do it. It's the best way to do it. So thanks again for participating, and good luck on your final test.